I'm Izzy. I'm a climate activist. A lot of the conversation I have mainly revolve around fashion, but I'm definitely interested in food. And right now I'm a recent graduate, so I'm trying to work out how to sustain myself whilst also continuing the work that I do on climate change.
I'm Dominique and I'm a climate justice activist in the UK. I'm also a student at the University of Birmingham. So I'm based in Birmingham and London, and I mainly focus on intersectional climate justice. And so I also engage in a lot of public speaking about the climate crisis and trying to engage and mobilise and empower people to join the movement.
My name's Emmanuelle. I'm a sustainability manager for M&S Foods. I have been working here for over 6 years. And the reason why I've been here for so long is because on most days I really enjoy my job. I focus on sustainable agriculture, which involves working in partnership with our farmers, our suppliers, partners to source our products more sustainably.
I think for me, the first thing about eating sustainably is thinking kind of mindfully about where your food is sourced, where it comes from, and like the journey that it took to get to you, because there are just so many different aspects. Then you can start, once you look at like the journey of food and where it's sourced and all of the different implications and issues that come with it, then you can start to really think about the sustainable side a bit more in that way. Because I think for a lot of people, or for me as well, when I first started on my sustainability journey, I first went vegan, and I thought a lot about the different types of food I was eating, but I didn't so much think about necessarily where all of my food was actually being sourced, which is also a really big part of sustainability. And I think eating sustainably also has to do with engaging in the ethical side of it as well, because I think ethics and sustainability go hand in hand, and that's one of the focuses of the Fairtrade Festival, is really looking at the ethical side of it as well, and engaging with those who are with farmers, and really engaging in the idea of fair trade essentially. And yes, so just really looking at all the different aspects of it there. So ethics, sustainability go hand in hand, and really just taking that first step to see where the food you eat is being sourced and what kind of impact that it's having, because all of us can really make a difference there.
I would second all of that. I think it's definitely can be incredibly overwhelming if you're not used to looking at food systems, because of course we all buy a lot of food you need to eat, and there are so many systems and so many bits of food. So I think just focusing first on one bit or bit here and there. Personally, over the last few years, I've kind of just been trying to shift the way I eat, and I guess slow down in some ways, whether that's by trying to eat more seasonally and eat more foods that are grown in the UK when they're grown in the UK, as a way to sort of eat more sustainably, because I think unless we do that, climate change is going to force us to eat in that way in the future anyway, in some ways. By maybe starting to grow your own food, so you appreciate what goes into food, and it's also really rewarding to eat, even if you only get a little bit out of it sometimes with plants, to eat something that you've grown. And things like, I've gotten more into foraging, which of course you have to be very careful about and make sure that you're not eating things that are poisonous, and you're following laws around that. But yeah, eating stuff that you wouldn't normally get to try from shops. Today I was laughing because my housemate thought the postman was there, but it was my dad delivering a mushroom that I had been growing, and it was a lion's mane mushroom, which you're not actually allowed to forage in the UK because they're an endangered species, but if you grow them from, say, a kit, you can eat them. And being able to eat something that is native to the UK, and also that you wouldn't be able to eat otherwise, that you've grown yourself, is pretty magical, I think. So yeah, there's lots of different avenues to eat more sustainably. I think it's just picking something that you're interested in and that you like.
I agree with both of those points. I think and that mushroom sounds amazing, Izzy. I think when we look at the science, it is quite clear that we need to reduce our meat intake and embrace more of a plant-based diet. And I think often people think about, meat alternatives and sort of vegan ranges as a sustainable diet, but I think what we're wanting to promote is a plant-based diet where you're really getting your protein from lots of different sources, including, you know, beans and pulses and veg. But as I said before, I think we do recognise meat as part of the solution as well, and we see a role for less but better meat, high welfare, lower impact. And yeah, I think we probably also talk about making the most of the food that you buy and reducing food waste at home as part of being as part of eating more sustainably.